Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk on YouTube.com. It's your girl, MF Michael Fletcher, alongside Anthony Floyo and Dee Dee Woodson. We might not get Michael Bullock here tonight. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, what a night we have. The ramifications of this Smackdown Live from the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut. Ladies and gentlemen, the ramifications of this event on this night has a monumental effect as it relates to WrestleMania. A whole bunch of chaos runs amok here tonight, and without a doubt, if you thought the main event of WrestleMania wasn't big enough, it just got even bigger. How big? Let's just say now we are on the verge of historical proportions. We'll get into that in just a minute. First off, we started SmackDown Live with the New Day cutting a promo, interrupted by Mr. McMahon, and let's just say everything that happened was pretty good. The New Day continuing to threaten, saying that, and actually Daniel Bryan was also involved in this as well. And basically, it was that the New Day was threatening to walk out on WWE and basically refuting the evidence that Daniel Bryan was saying that they were a B-plus team. Well, Mr. McMahon said, all right, I'll do this. We're going to do another gauntlet. But this time, the New Day is running the gauntlet. It's a tag team gauntlet. And if the New Day wins, then Kofi, you get your opportunity, you get your moment, you get your shot at Daniel Bryan for the WWE title at WrestleMania. So basically, this is not Kofi just running the gauntlet. Now his brothers are running it. And they have to survive and go all the way to the top. Can they do it? We will find out. So, how does this break down for me? All right. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say that the segment was good. It was excellent, as a matter of fact. I loved the fire. I loved the passion. I loved everything that was brought up. I was really happy with the way that the New Day, they stood up for their brother. They stood up for Kofi Kingston. We all know that Kofi deserves the opportunity at WrestleMania. We know that he deserves the shot. But McMahon has been stubborn than you know what to not give Kofi the moment. We know that. So they made him run a gauntlet once. He got to the finish line. He was there. And then McMahon throws a sidebar and got denied at the gate. Now, this time, Big E and Xavier has threatened to quit WWE. Even though Kofi's like, you know what? I need to see this through. I need to keep fighting. I need to keep going. I can't let Vince win. So, what do? They throw the gambit. They're like, you consider us more of a talent, more for the pancakes and everything else. We don't need this. We don't need WWE. We got our own lives to fall back on. We got careers. We can do plenty things, other than WWE. We got different avenues. We could just walk on you and say, screw you, we're out. So, with all the drama and everything else, this was really well done. Strong segment. I got nothing bad to say. Anthony Florio, come on in. This was a really strong opening, even though I know a lot of people were on McMahon for being all over the place, but the fire from Kofi, from Xavier, from Big E, and Daniel Bryan, this made this segment just that much better.
Fantastic opening segment, MF. Absolutely fantastic opening segment. And great work by the New Day. Daniel Bryan was also on point as the heel trying to dodge Kofi. The hype was real for the gauntlet. This tag team gauntlet, the hype was real. Let me tell you. You made some great points, MF. I mean, we saw that WWE.com exclusive video last week where Big E and Xavier wanted to walk out, wanted to quit, but Kofi said, no, I'm not quitting. Because if we quit, Mr. McMahon wins, Vince wins, Daniel Bryan wins, and that's all that stood out to me from there. One thing that really stood out about the promo, other than making that a tag team gauntlet and putting Kofi's WrestleMania fate in the hands of his brothers, was the fact that Xavier called Daniel Bryan a hypocrite and said, you've just become everything you once fought against. Obvious callback to 5 years ago when Daniel Bryan was the underdog, when he was trying to, fight the system, trying to, as I would say, beat the machine that was the authority. And who would have thunk 5 years later, Daniel Bryan would go from being that underdog, trying to beat the system and the machine, to now, he's now the machine and the system. Small world, folks. And now Kofi is in the exact same position that Daniel Bryan was in 5 years ago. So that's what stood out to me, along with the tag team gauntlet. I mean, like I said, fantastic opening segment. Great work by the New Day and Daniel Bryan as well, creating substantial hype. Usually you would think a tag team gauntlet, you would think, yeah. But this is the first time I can honestly say a tag team gauntlet match, there was hype, and I was actually feeling it. So, fantastic. Nothing more to say. Didi Woodson, small world. Daniel Bryan, 5 years ago, he was trying to fight the machine and the system. Now he is the system and the machine. Go figure.
Exactly. Everything that Kofi said was the truth. I mean, or Big E said was the truth. He is basically the system that he was fighting. He's, everything that he said he didn't want to be. And here he is. That's what he is now. So, yeah, this was an awesome segment. Definitely very newsworthy segment at that. They did a great job with it. I have nothing bad to say about it either, so I'm just going to toss it over to Fletch.
And now we go into the first fight of the night. It was Asuka versus Charlotte Flair for the Smackdown Women's title. Out of nowhere, title fight. All right. What happens? The winner of the bout, via submission, and new SmackDown Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair. She wins the title at 17 minutes and 33 seconds. Now, we were waiting, and we're like, wait a minute. Ronda Rousey has the Raw Women's title. Charlotte just won the SmackDown Women's title. What does that mean for WrestleMania? Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever in WWE history, it is a unification bout at WrestleMania. For the first time since WrestleMania 6, when Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior fought for the Intercontinental and the World Wrestling Federation title, the main event of WrestleMania 35, Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair will be fighting for both the Raw and SmackDown women's titles. Anthony Florio, let's set the picture here. At the night of all nights, April 7th, 2019, MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey, one lady is going to be walking out with 2 championship titles.
Before I get into this, MF, can you confirm that's official? Is that official?
It is official, yes.
Where is it? I need to see this for myself.
It was all over social media. It should have been on Instagram. Dee, do you have it? I think Dee Dee's got it.
Well, it's a tweet from Becky Lynch.
I heard it was a unified belt. I heard it was both belts.
Yeah. Derek Ferreira, posted in his Facebook stories that he sees that happening, and I guess it's official. So, but before I give my judgment on this, fight of the night right here. 4 to 4.25 stars. Unbelievable. I can honestly say this was actually better than the match they had at WrestleMania last year. This match was really freaking awesome. Some genuinely believable near falls and a great ending that's added not only intrigue to WrestleMania, but has also made this main event. This main event has just become the biggest main event in WrestleMania history. Forget Hogan and Andre at WrestleMania 3. Forget the Ultimate Challenge at WrestleMania 6. Forget the Iron Man match at WrestleMania 12 with Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. Forget Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels. Stone Cold and The Rock. Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Chris Benoit. Any main event at that has ever taken place at a WrestleMania, all of those have gone. Hell, the streak in the career. You get the idea. Rock and Cena. 1 and 2. More so 1. Seth Rollins cashing in the Money in the Bank. Ladies and gentlemen, this is now the most anticipated and greatest main event. Yeah, I didn't think it was official. Yeah, I want to be sure on that. But you would have to imagine either Monday Night on Raw in Washington, D.C., or maybe next Tuesday on SmackDown Live in Baltimore. I would imagine it would probably be Raw. But, okay, I see what Dee Dee has here. It looks like an article here. The win, Charlotte's win ends Asuka's reign in an even 100 days, having won the championship from Becky Lynch in a TLC match. We all know that story. With Flair being in the triple threat match for the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania, the plan is not currently clear. The main event could now be a unifier for the SmackDown and Raw Women's Championship. Flair could go on to defend the title herself. Well, that's a possibility. That is a possibility. Flair, now that Charlotte Flair is the SmackDown Women's Champion, she could go on to defend the title herself and leave Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey to have a singles match. Or the triple threat match could be only for the Raw Women's Championship, with Charlotte's SmackDown Women's Championship no longer on the line. So take this with a grain of salt. Read into this what you will.
We're going to have to wait and see. It is way too early, but I would think unify. If you're going to make it the biggest main event ever, you made it history already by doing the women to do the women in the main event.
Yes.
Why not add that extra element? I mean, we've only seen it once in WrestleMania history.
6.
And I talked about it. Warrior versus Hogan, WrestleMania 6, the Ultimate Challenge. I mean, why not unify the belts? That'd be the biggest moment ever.
And have one undisputed WWE Women's Champion exclusive to both shows and all brands, like the Women's Tag Team Championships are.
I'd be all for it.
I would too. And I'm sure Didi would concur with us as well. So, but man alive, though. I mean, let's catch our breath. Let's wait and see what the dirt sheets have to say about this. But we'll have to wait now until Monday night. At the earliest, we'll have to wait until Monday night in Washington, D.C. for that go-home Monday Night Raw for WrestleMania. Or maybe even SmackDown Live next week in Baltimore. We'll have to wait and find out. But as far as the match is concerned, fight of the night, 4 to 4.25 stars, Shakespearean drama at its finest. This came out of absolute nowhere. And we always talk about WWE being predictable. Well, this was unpredictability at its absolute finest right here. You want to make history, like MF just said? Let's put both belts on the line. Let's unify those suckers. And let's have one undisputed WWE Women's Champion, exclusive, not just to Raw, not just to SmackDown Live, but to both shows, as well as NXT and NXT UK, like they're doing with the Women's Tag Team Championships. Book it. Nothing more to say. 4 to 4.25 stars. I mean, Derek Ferreira, he said it in his Facebook stories. He's called for it. He's calling for the unification bout. Only time will tell, folks. But all three of us, I speak on behalf of all three of us. Do we want to see it? In the immortal words of Stone Cold Steve Austin, oh, hell yeah. That's all there is to say on that. And MF, in the immortal words of Gorilla Monsoon, what do you say? What do you say when we have a new champion, especially of this significance?
Oh, yeah, history has been made. History was made here tonight. No doubt about it.
Yeah, buddy. That's what I was hoping for. All right, Didi Woodson, our women's wrestling expert. I mean, what do you make of all of this? Do you want to see that unification bout?
Not exactly. Not with them going to Fox, but I just found this on 411 Mania. It says, in addition to the new developments that came to play, WWE has confirmed per Wrestling Inc. that Charlotte Flair, the newly won SmackDown Women's Champion, will not be on the line in her match with Ronda Rousey. So the title will not be defended on WrestleMania at all. So that kind of confirms that. And if, as I scroll down, you can kind of see what the updated card is.
So there it is, guys. So it is official. Charlotte Flair, even though she is, well, now that does open the door where she could be a double champion. If Charlotte wins, she essentially does unify the belts. So the only way that the belt remains on Raw is if Becky wins it or Ronda some way, somehow keeps the title. If Charlotte wins at Mania, she unifies the belts. Consequently, she unifies the titles, and she does indeed become the undisputed women's champion. Because then she would have the Raw title and the SmackDown title in possession. So it is still possible, but only the Raw women's title is now in play, and it's not a unification.
Right.
But if Charlotte wins, she unifies.
But then again, you still have the stipulation Monday night that if she screws over her team, she's out of the match.
That's true too.
We still have a lot in play for this last week, so we kind of have to just kind of wait and see what happens within this last week before WrestleMania, because anything could happen within this time. So it could like it says, go down to just a one-on-one for the title, and then it could still be a triple threat. We don't know what's going to happen. We'll just have to wait and see. We could have a double champion here. I don't know. As of right now, as it says, there's no plans on SmackDown title being defended. So, as far as unification, I don't know. Me personally, I think they should keep it separate with the SmackDown going to Fox. That way, they'd have their brand there, and then the other brand on USA. But if they unify it, then I see it just doing the same thing they're doing with the tag titles, going from show to show. So we'll just have to kind of play it by ear, see what happens, and, you never know. I do agree this is the fight of the night. And I pretty much kind of agree with you guys' ratings on it, too. So I'm not going to say too much more on it. I'll just keep digging and seeing what else I can find out on this. So I'll toss it back to you, Fletch.
All right, Dee Dee Woodson being our investigative reporter for the night, and that's awesome. Next thing we had was AJ Styles versus Kurt Angle. Fight ends in a no contest. Randy Orton kind of stuck his nose where it didn't really belong there. I mean, fine. I don't think there was going to be much of a gripe about this. I know a lot of people were not happy, but I think we kind of had to deal with it. Nothing more to say. Then we had the segment, The Miz and Shane McMahon leading as they're continuing their little brawl leading to WrestleMania. Oh man, I guess I can say let's go to Dee Dee Woodson quickly. So just give me a thought on this segment.
The Miz segment?
Yes.
That was a pretty good segment. I mean, it was very, well, I guess you could say it's newsworthy for the match sake with Miz and Shane. It was good to see, them pulling out some of the talent we haven't seen in a while, Primo and Shelton and Sanity coming out, along with all the jabroni security guards that, aren't worth the money that they're probably paying them. Plus, half of those guys are trainee wrestlers that they pull up to play these security guards anyway, because you have to have somebody who knows how to take the falls. But yeah, I mean, it was a good segment. It really showcased, Miz a lot more than it did Shane in this case. So, yeah, I liked it real well. So I'm not going to say too much more on it. So, Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, good segment. Nothing bad to say about it. I think Dee Dee Woodson, you pretty much touched on everything that it needed to be said, and there was a lot of emotion, a lot of fire, especially by the Miz. As it's gotten personal. It's gotten real personal between Shane and Miz, and he's really twisting that knife. Shane is about the family, saying how the biggest regret as he's looking at the picture and did no harm that his father made the greatest mistake by when he impregnated his mother. And you felt the he went there aspect, and it was so good that they did it. And I do not mind the fact that they actually made this match falls count anywhere. This is a great match. It's basically no DQs, no countouts, falls count anywhere. That means it can go anywhere in MetLife. That's gonna be fun. So God knows where this fight could go. But it's gonna be a good matchup. Nothing more to say. Anthony, a rivalry that we kind of thought going into it, it's got some legs under it. It's got some good momentum going into WrestleMania. I like it.
I do too. Great segment between both the Miz and Shane McMahon here. their match now being a Falls Count Anywhere adds a lot. And it was clear how much emotion was running through The Miz. I mean, you saw it. And, you know, we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, Falls Count Anywhere matches, they're chaotic, we know. And that's all I can really say there. So, man alive. So, really nothing more to say here. So, Falls Count Anywhere, let's do it. So, nothing more to say, MF. Let's move on.
Guys, here we go. Gauntlet time. Started out with the New Day versus the Good Brothers. New Day won the match in 55 seconds. Quick win. Get out. Next up we had was the New Day versus Nakamura and Rusev. And New Day won that match. Third fight, the New Day versus The Bar. The New Day won that match. Fourth one was going to be the New Day versus the Usos. We're thinking, uh-oh, here we go. The greatest rivalry in tag team history is about to go at it again. No, the fight does not even happen because the Usos basically is like, we fought wars against you guys, and they feel that Kofi deserves the opportunity, said that he earned their respect and the respect of the fans in the locker room. Therefore, we forfeit. So, that means they go through the final fight. They had a fight with Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan. Big E and Xavier Woods from the New Day wins the match. 38 minutes, 11 seconds. Guys, Daniel Bryan will now have to face Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. It is done. It's a done deal. It's gonna happen, guys. It is now a foregone conclusion. Bryan versus Kofi for the title at Mania. What a match. What a good gauntlet. Look, I'm going to say this. I feel bad for the way that they did the Good Brothers. I think that was absolutely garbage. That was horrible. I didn't like it. It is what it is. Nakamura and Rusev, that was a decent fight. The Bar was an excellent battle. No doubt about it. That was an excellent match. Probably the best fight of the entire gauntlet. It was very interesting that they actually had the Usos forfeit. So that's actually going to be very telling because I could see McMahon now punishing the Usos for not fighting. Even though we heard what the Usos said. We respect you. We got no problems with you. We've always had wars with you guys. And every time we fought, it's always been mano a mano for whatever. We respect you. We want Kofi to fight for the title at WrestleMania. So we're not going to fall for this trap. You guys go. Move on. You guys can go to the next fight. We forfeit. Bryan and Rowan at the end, very telling, great matchup, and they got the victory. They won it. So that means they get the shot at the title. Kofi wins the opportunity of a lifetime. The 11-year odyssey that he's been on for the WWE Championship will now get the ultimate spotlight. Center stage under the lights of MetLife Stadium at WrestleMania for the title. He gets Daniel Bryan. No ifs, no ands, no buts. As for the gauntlet, I could give this 4 stars, maybe second best fight of the night. Anthony Florio, it's happened. Kofi Kingston is going to WrestleMania. He's fighting for the title. His brothers stepped up and stepped out in the spotlight tonight.
Unbelievable. Wow. I agree. Second best fight of the night. 3.5 to 4. I'll give the rating for that. This was really spectacular. As convoluted as it has been at times, this build to Kofi Kingston's moment at WrestleMania has been truly enthralling. Seeing Big E and Xavier fight for him, and then the Usos doing the right thing and forfeiting, and finally the count-out victory was so powerful. Kofi Kingston is going to WrestleMania, and he is going to challenge the new Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship in a match that I have a feeling when it comes to the SmackDown side of the card, this is going to steal the dang show. We're looking at 4.5 to 5 on this one, folks. I really, really feel that in my heart of hearts. And I also feel in my heart of hearts that Kofi Kingston is gonna make history. I got a feeling. It's gonna happen. So we'll get more into that next week. But man alive, I mean, what a moment. I mean, there is a small part of me that kind of wanted to see Kofi earn the moment, but to have his brothers do it, wow, that's powerful stuff, man. I mean, that's something. So I don't know what else there is to say. I mean, it's 3.5 to 4. It's the second best fight of the night. I mean, what a way to cap off. For me, I have to honestly consider this the SmackDown Live of 2019 so far. So I'll have more on that. I'll be happy to elaborate a great deal more in just a moment. But there's nothing more for me to say except Kofi Kingston's going to WrestleMania. Well deserved. Well deserved. See? I told you guys. Didn't I tell you all to relax? Didn't I tell you all the RELAX relax? I told you Kofi was getting his moment. They just wanted to drag it out. Yes, I'm with you. I kind of wanted, to get this done sooner, but as long as they got it done, that's all that matters. So get ready. This could end up being one of the greatest WWE Championship matches of all time. Nothing more to say on this. So Didi Woodson, at long last, Kofi Kingston is going to WrestleMania. He's challenging for he's got a shot at the big one, and he's got his New Day brothers to thank for it.
Yeah, that he does. But I still stand by the thing that Becky Lynch and Kofi both won Royal Rumble, so why the heck did we have to go through all this just for them to get the shots they deserve?
Didi, Seth Rollins won the Royal Rumble match, not Kofi.
Yeah, Kofi never.
Anyway, with Becky, I mean, there's that. So, but Kofi earned this a long time ago. Why the heck are we going through all this? This doesn't make any sense. But whatever. It's just a bunch of baloney, if you ask me. But anyway, this was the second best match of the night. I'll go with 3.5 to 4 on the match. It was a very well done match. Kudos for the Usos for seeing that Kofi actually did deserve this match and forfeiting. You could almost pinpoint who all Vince was going to put in here to fight the New Day, and I mean they did very well, and very smart tactics with defeating Rowan, getting him underneath the desk, smart tactics on each one of the competitors. Gallows and Anderson, I think they probably could have done a little bit more with them for this gauntlet, but it is what it is. I've heard rumors that they're on their way out too, but I don't know. That's just a rumor right now that I've heard. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. And so, Fletch, let's move on.
All right, there's really nothing else to move on. It's overall review time. Just like last night, we'll start it off with Didi Woodson. Give us your rating for tonight's SmackDown Live, my love.
I'll give it about 7.5 to 8. I mean, it was a very well done show, very newsworthy. It definitely won the battle with Raw for the week, which usually it does anyway. A lot of corkscrews that we've been thrown in on the show tonight. For one, with Charlotte Flair winning the title with Asuka. I mean, I heard rumors that we were going to have a number one contenders match. Then I heard another rumor that Asuka was going to fight someone that was supposed to be her number one contender, and then we ended up having Asuka versus Charlotte. So, very, very interesting night, to say the least. And then you throw in, the gauntlet there at the end, and the two really good segments. It was very well done. Very well put together show, and definitely, is hyping up the pay-per-view more than, you can say Raw is right now. So, we got one more week for both shows to really cement their portion of WrestleMania. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens next week on the go-home shows. And I'm praying, that Raw actually gives us a good go-home show. But then also, when you get to WrestleMania, we do have a little, if you've been watching anything on Twitter, we've had a lot of little showcases of Nikki Cross on there, hinting that she's going to be doing something at WrestleMania, whether it's going after Bliss or, there was one tonight that she posted about the main event. So she wants to be a part of this. So we'll see if maybe somehow she gets stuck into WrestleMania somewhere, even if it's in a segment. I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, this is a night that they'll showcase everyone. There's also another. I don't know if y'all saw on any of the dirt sheets, but I read somewhere where they may be having TakeOver this week because of all the stuff that's going on for WrestleMania next week. So that was supposedly from the mouth of Triple H. I'll post a link to that here after a while, so before I leave, so you two can see it. But that's about all I have. So, Fletch, I'll toss it back to you, and I guess I'll see you guys next week.
All right, very well. First off, I gotta disagree with Dee Whitson with her rating. I thought this was almost a perfect 10. Obviously, the only downside was the Randy Orton versus interfering in Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles. I didn't like that at all. You lose a point for that there. 9 out of 10 for SmackDown Live tonight. This was almost a flawless show. This was virtually perfect in my mind. So, Anthony Floyo, come on in. Give me your thoughts. Do you agree with Didi's rating? Do you agree with my rating? Or are you in the middle? Where do you stand?
Classic question. Who do I agree with? I agree with Girl MF Michael Fletcher on this one. This was a 9 out of 10. Sorry, Didi. I got to go with MF on this one. You nailed it. I mean, wow. Like I said, this was the SmackDown Live of the year, and 7.5 to 8 does not necessarily reflect that kind of a rating. This is a 9 out of 10, easily. If Orton does not interfere in AJ and Angle, and that ended up being halfway decent, then we would have been talking a perfect 10 here tonight. This was the most newsworthy show of 2019 so far, both sides. I mean, you thought Raw was newsworthy last night? This was even more newsworthy here tonight. My gut reactions, very simply. New Day's excellent mic work has been even more next level as of late. Tonight, no exception. Daniel Bryan's fresh afternoon line was freaking hilarious. Asuka and Charlotte Flair for the title. And then Charlotte hitting that Spanish fly and on that second rope thing of beauty. so many questions about what Charlotte's title win means. And while it's amazing, the downside is Asuka is now an afterthought. And the rest of the SmackDown women's division is just being brushed under the rug. AJ Styles and Kurt Angle deserve better, but it was nice to see an Angle slam on Randy Orton. Gallows and Anderson, I 100% agree. They deserved better, but you can't be mad. They're on their way to AEW anyway. Kofi's going to WrestleMania. Kofi Mania is running wild. And what else is there to say? So everything on this show was great. But the best part of all was seeing Kofi get his moment and then seeing the camaraderie of the SmackDown roster making their way to the ring. Even Byron Saxton left his post at commentary to join in the celebration. That's camaraderie right there, folks. You know how I am about that. Unity. That shows you how happy they were. So, we'll have to wait and find out. And yes, Didi Woodson it's saying the PW Insider reports that Triple H's media call for NXT TakeOver New York will take place this week rather than next week due to the hectic schedule of WrestleMania week. The call takes place on Thursday morning. So, we're just going to have to wait and see what that means. So, nothing more to say on this. This was a 9 out of 10 SmackDown Live of the Year right here. Most newsworthy show I've ever seen. Charlotte, now the SmackDown Women's Champion. I know they're saying not on the line right now, but there's that part of me that really wants to see this end up being a unification bout. You want to make this the biggest main event in WrestleMania history? Put them both on the line, and let's have the best woman leave MetLife as the undisputed WWE Women's Champion, open to both shows. And especially with SmackDown moving to Fox this fall, I think that definitely is a good call for me. So I know they're saying no as of now, but I got a feeling they're teasing us. I got a feeling either Monday night on Raw in DC or next Tuesday on SmackDown Live in Baltimore, I got a feeling they might got their pulling the trigger. Derek Ferrera, you're absolutely right, my friend. But we'll see. We'll see. So, nothing more to say here. What a night. History-making night at the Mohegan Sun. Oh, my gosh. MF, I don't know if any other SmackDown Live from this year is going to top that effort tonight. Unbelievable.
The road to WrestleMania just got even more crazier.
Oh.
And whoever would have thought it would, I know there's been a lot of people slamming this road to WrestleMania, saying that this is not good, that they're fearing that WrestleMania is not going to deliver this year and the whole 9 yards. And on SmackDown Live, they've been nailing it week after week after week after week. And I've been saying SmackDown's road is a lot stronger than Raw's road to WrestleMania. And now they literally just kicked it into overdrive tonight. We got the WWE title fight that we got. Charlotte won the title. What does that mean for the what does that mean for the women's division, and let alone the main event? Now, does that? I mean, we don't know what that means, because remember, any physicality now might cost one of the three women a shot at the Raw Women's title. But with Charlotte being the women's champion on SmackDown, does she say, you know what? I don't care anymore. I'm already a champion. I don't need this. Does she attack Ronda and Becky and say, you know what? That basically takes her out of the fight. You don't know. So there's a lot of questions that needs to be answered, and we'll get them next week on Monday Night Raw, as they will be at Washington, D.C., and then we will be in Baltimore, Maryland 1 week from tonight for the final SmackDown before WrestleMania, because after that, all roads leads to New York and New Jersey for the biggest event of the year. That's it for Cerebral Smack Talk. Anthony Floyo, come on in. Hit us with the for Strictly Sports on Friday night. What's up?
A great docket, MF. That's what's up. There was one story in particular I know you wanted to get into recently, MF, and guess what? You're going to get that opportunity. So here you go. Friday night, Strictly Sports, 10:30 on the Tone 25. Blake Bortles signing with the Los Angeles Rams. The retirement of Rob Gronkowski. We'll get into that. MF, here's the story that I know you wanted to get into some time ago. You're going to get your opportunity if you should be on. Mike Trout, his long-term deal with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. We will cover that. We will also preview the Elite Eight of the NCAA tournament, the regional finals. We'll get into that. And a double main event. We will preview the upcoming Major League Baseball season, and Michael Bullock will share his experiences from the 24-hour Super Plunge as part of Special Olympics Rhode Island. So we're going to get into all that Friday night, 10:30 on the Tone 25 on Strictly Sports. So hope you'll be there, MF. Hope you'll all be tuning in as well. So we'll see you then. So until then, for everybody who's been a part of this one, bye for now. God bless. Be good to each other. And we'll see you Friday night. So MF, put the ball on this historic night.
Oh, yes, indeed, guys. And there's really nothing more to say. Thank you, Anthony Floyo. Thank you, Didi Woodson. Thank you, everybody, for making this show as incredible as it's always been. Like the video. Leave a comment at the bottom. Are you excited for the new changes that's leading to WrestleMania? We now have a women's championship situation where maybe we could have a unification. Maybe if Charlotte wins, she would be a unified champion. Of course, Miz and Shane now falls count anywhere. Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan WWE title confirmed at WrestleMania. We only got 2 shows left. The road to WrestleMania is almost coming to a close. Next week, Washington and Baltimore, and then all roads lead to New York. Get ready, guys. Next week is going to be the wildest week we've ever had on the wrestling forum. Get ready, guys. WrestleMania week. It doesn't get any bigger than this. Maybe sometime next week we'll get the first looks at MetLife Stadium too. The stage setup for WrestleMania. You don't know. They might. Open air stadium. You know, chances are leaks could get out. We hope. But anyway, there's nothing more to say. For Anthony Floyo, for Didi Woodson, I'm Mike Fletcher. Have a good night, everybody. So long for now. And bye-bye.